Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Thank you guys all so much for stopping by. As always, my name is Eli with Pokemon USA. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we do Q&A sessions where I will answer any and all your guys' questions, typically related to Pokemon. If you're wondering why the video is named the way it is, usually I don't have time to go through all the comments of the previous video, so this is your opportunity to ask questions from the previous video if you had any. But if you don't, you can always ask me questions about just about anything. But before we jump into it, as always, we do weekly giveaways. All you have to do to enter is leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And lastly, we have a ton of links down in the description below if you're interested in being a part of the community anyway, one of which being our Discord. I highly recommend you join. It's where we make most of our announcements, as well as have an awesome community of like-minded individuals. Now, let's give a couple of shout outs to people that are here so far for the channel. Corey Donmeyer, shout out to you. Mikkel, Emilio, Ripper, Sensolo, Benny Boy, Tori, Poke Department Store, Bav Moody, Shadowless Tony, Jason Godek, DJ, Catch 'em All, TCG, Corey, already gave him a shout out, and then Lord Narwhal. Shout out to you guys. So let's jump into it. Hello everyone. Mine was 100% correct, Sensolo says. That's funny. Oh my goodness. You missed the Corona down? Oh, for the old countdown timer? I don't really have a preference. I just got a new stream timer and this is what it was. So if you guys prefer a certain one over another. Bet you guys can't hit the like button with your tongue. Make sure to hit that like button with your tongue, guys. Alright, let's get a better backdrop than just the Windows frame in the middle. Let's get a little bit of an image of TCG player. How about that? And then we do a little bit of shop all, and then we do a little bit of best selling, and then what do we see? We see ourselves some sealed product on the trending page. Yeah. Crazy cool, right, guys? All right. My guy Eli, what's up, Catchem? Good to see you as always, brother. Emilio says, question, I'm selling stuff soon and I don't have a paper trail for a lot of it. Can I make an excuse like I traded for it? If you get audited, dude, it's gonna be bad. You gotta have a paper trail for something. You've always got to have a paper trail for something, typically, with the IRS. It's, yeah, that's about all I can say. Paldea Evolved Pokemon Center ETB is a no-brainer investment, in my opinion. Yeah, if you guys don't know, Paldea Evolved is officially here, ladies and gentlemen. Paldea Evolved is going to be it's on the Pokemon Center website, and we also are going to have pre-orders pretty soon up here for the wholesale tier. So get excited for that if you are a part of it. Because I just got informed today by my distributor, hey, time to put in your numbers and you better put in a crap ton because we're going to try and get you as much as we can. My guy, I already answered that question. Narwhal says he's kidding. What's up, Ken Cookie? How we doing? CJ, what's up, Eli in the chat? Nothing much, just getting into a good day. Department store says tax questions. Anyone got their tax questions? I actually just got off the phone with my bookkeeper, funny enough, right before I started the stream. So her and I were going through some transactions, so I made sure that we did have a paper trail of where everything was coming from, and I said what it was when she was filing it. Narwhal, I'm super worried about figuring out the cost basis for product I bought and opened and sold singles from. Seems impossible to figure out properly. It's definitely a lot to track, that's for sure. And that's one of the things, that's a project I'm actually extremely passionate about. There's a device that, this is way down the line, but I've talked to you about it, obviously, Narwhal. I have an idea for wanting to do something that's going to make an integration process for transactions so that you can kind of follow all of those things, because that would be absolutely awesome to have. Because yeah, it's so tough when you're trying to, hypothetically, let's say a pack, right? You spent money on a pack to pull that card, and then the card value, and then what it costs for you to grade the card, and then like there's just such a process about it in total cost basis. You think prize packs will perform similar to Pop Series in the future? Prize packs have been performing well. I don't know, man. It's hard to say because the prize and the prize packs, from what I've seen, are pretty underwhelming. So I doubt it, but who knows? 1 in 3 Pikachu V boxes has an alt art. Buy them now. Pikachu V boxes? Like which ones? Which Pikachu V boxes? Because there's a lot of Pikachu V boxes. Oh, is that supposed to be in reference to the mystery product that I said a while ago? I wonder if that's what he's referencing. I have transactions on my bait statement, but no mention of what that was for. Can I use that? Well, here's typically what I do is I have bank transaction statements as well, like that. And then I go through it with my bookkeeper, and she just goes through and says, all right, is this for supplies? Is this for cost of goods sold? Is this for personal? And we just kind of go through the list of what specific item it is for, and we itemize it so that we can keep track of totally like, hey, is this something we can write off for business? Is this something we can't write off for business? That's usually how I go about doing it. Yeah, Evolving Skies and PS in them. Interesting. I didn't know that. Pikachu V boxes have evolving, and that must be a new print or something. Note to anyone buying stuff from the pharmacy, sign up for email receipts, worth it in the long run. Jacoby22 says, did you have thoughts on PSA grading metal cards again? Celebrations UPCs should start to go up again soon. I don't know, man. It's hard for me to say on if they're going to be doing it again. I would like to think so. It's just another opportunity for them to grade. So it would seem silly if they didn't do that, but I don't know, man. It's kind of hard to say, honestly. I just have my people send me their bank statements with descriptions of it. Takes little time. Yeah, no, exactly. She literally just was on the phone with me and she was like, all right, Eli, I'm going to go through a list of things. I have no clue what the frick they are. You're going to tell me what they are. All right, cool. Sounds good. Simple as that. What's up, Collector Jay? Good to see you as always, brother. Hopefully you're having a good one. Bro, I got sucker punched this morning. Holy crap. I woke up feeling like crap. I kid you not, I am like still recovering from my sickness, and it is the most frustrating thing because I have this like little cough that I just have from being sick. It's like a tickle, and I'll go to bed and I'll have a stuffed nose and I'll try and like breathe through that stuffed nose, and then I won't be able to, and so then I will naturally start breathing through my mouth at night, and then I will, because I'm breathing through my mouth at night, cause the cough to happen, and then I will like literally wake up in the middle of the night like choking, like I can't breathe. So that's super fun. Oh, PSA announced on their website they're grading metal cards again. Okay, thank you for the clarification on that. I was a little bit confused. Okay, well, yeah, I mean, that makes sense then why they're doing it. Like I said a second ago, it would make sense why they wouldn't. But they're grading metal cards again. Good. I mean, I think that metal cards, I mean, it's a unique item. Do I see it as something that, I mean, it's interesting because the supply right now obviously is super thin because they had it open for a little bit and then they closed it and now it's open again. So you're probably just going to see the supply go down, I would say, or the prices go down just for the graded value. But I guess what's your general opinion? Like, what are my thoughts on you sending in for grading? I would use the same argument as I do for cards. Is it in good condition? Is it a good cut, you know? I've opened up 3 pools. Oh, that's cool. When I get sick, especially if I have a cough, I'm not 100% for like a month. I don't know how some people are sick for 2 days. I'm usually sick for like a couple of days and then I'm fine. So this one's just dragging on, man. I need a booster pack dispenser so I can break down some product. Are they really $100+? I have absolutely no idea. I need to check and see on my I've had a couple of people ask me about it from one of our distributors. Hey, can I buy pack dispensers or can I get prices for pack dispensers? And it's one of those items here. Let me see if I can look it up. pack dispenser. It is on wholesale. It is $75. So that is the wholesale amount. Well, it's because, so there's two different ones. There's the Ultra Pro pack dispenser, but that one's sold out on Distro's site. That one's $44, and the other one is a acrylic 6-slot pack dispenser, and that one's for $75. He needs some milk. Thoughts are on sealed UPCs and keeping them? Are you talking about ultra premium collections from Charizard or celebrations? Hey, appreciate it, Jose. Let's link up off stream. Yeah, Collector J, if you got questions for, I assume for the product, then sure. No problemo. I got you. I just don't know how the process goes about shipping with that. That's the biggest issue. Because I've had people ask me questions about it, and typically I've been like, hey guys, I just can't sell it because it's extremely difficult to ship. I mean, they're like super duper expensive. And when I typically tell people, like, if you want one, you have to buy it in a case. So I haven't listed it on the allocation page. And they're expensive, dude. They are expensive. $75? Really? Jeez Louise. Oh, I'm gonna do it again. Hanging in there. What do you think of SV so far? I feel so uninvested, but people seem to love it. Ooh, it's interesting. So I went to my first pre-release event I've ever been for, Build and Battles. And I got to experience the SV cards. I think the silver looks like absolute crap. I hate the silver on the regular cards. They look so bad. Oh my goodness gracious. It makes me miss the yellow borders. And the silvering on the holographic cards, they're fine. Like, sure, I guess they're cool, but it's not like... You're not going to see those cards that often. It's mainly the common uncommons. It's like a faded silver is the best way to explain it. And I'm just like, oh, this is kind of gross. So if we're talking about just the SV transition, that's kind of where I am with that. But if we're talking about just the set overall, Scarlet and Violet, I think it's exciting because it's, once again, a new age of transitioning over designs. It is a new age in terms of a new era. And then on top of that too, you're also going to see just a bunch of awesome art designs that you usually wouldn't see with a base set. Eli, you're such a hater. You're such a boomer. I am not a boomer, bro. Have you not seen the silver borders? They're so bad. Like, I like the Japanese borders. The Japanese borders are actually clean, but like the English ones, and I'm not the only one that's like saying this. Like the majority of people at the pre-release event that I was discussing like with, and I was like, what's your guys' opinions on the borders? And they're like, oh, it's kind of upsetting because the quality looks super crappy. It is nothing to, like the concept of silver borders, in my opinion, like I like the idea of it, but the execution for English has just been so poorly done. That's what I'm just frustrated about. There's nothing to me being a boomer being like, oh, I miss the yellow, or I miss WotC and I hate the future. Like, no, I'm a fan of the future of Pokemon and the direction on things that they're doing, but that doesn't mean that I can't, you know, criticize them in a way that if they do something that looks like crap, it makes me a boomer all of a sudden. Pogo ETB worth keeping sealed? I would say so. Travis, what is up, my guy? Hopefully we are doing well. Good to see you. It's been a while, it feels like. Is Panda Evolve the next evolving skies? Probably not. Pokemon, do you like K-pop music from Korea? I can't say that I do. The cards look incredibly different. Yeah, that's for sure. 100% agree. Look at a side-by-side of the Japanese English. Yeah, it's entirely different. Let's see if I can actually pull it up. Give me a sec. All right, right, let's see if we can pull up side-by-side comparisons. I don't know if they have them yet. Yeah, I don't think they have them yet. But it's like the best way to explain it here. Let me see if I can pull one up for Japanese from an older card, and then we'll show the English variation. God, it doesn't do it justice in the pictures though. They make it look a lot nicer than it actually is in person. How do I show a good one? There's got to be one that they have just regular. No, I'm not seeing it, man. I'm not seeing it. I'm trying to find an English version. So you see how with the Japanese cards, there's like an actual defined silver? Well, with the English, or with the Japanese, with the English cards, it's not really a silver. It's more of a gray. Like, there's not really a unique, like, eye. It's like almost unappealing to the eye is the best way to explain it. What's up, Roma Sheets? Good to see you as always, brother. Thoughts on NN's video? Nostalgianomics, I assume, is who you're referencing. I don't know. I haven't seen his most recent video. Better late than never. What's up, senpai? Hi, guys. Want to invest in Korea products? Any suggestions? Sadly, I don't know anything about Korean products. English doing something bad that Japan did well? That is weird. I know, right? Shocking. It's like history. Just repeating itself as always. Yeah, let me know about it if you have a picture. Does the silver border look like old World Championship deck? Actually, give me 1 second, guys. I actually have some, and I can show you. Well, I want to give examples. Oh, yeah. I know. Oh, and give me an example of Japanese. You're good. Oh, yeah. That's but that's a hollow. I know. I have a problem. Okay, hang on. Oh, that's a bummer. All right, I'm back. Sorry. Okay, so what's interesting is I don't think it's a Japanese thing, actually. I think it's just a Scarlet and Violet thing. Because I went and looked, because I have some Japanese Scarlet and Violet cards and English Scarlet and Violet cards, and I think it's just 100% just a Scarlet and Violet thing. So here's what it looks like if you look close up. Gosh dang it. Man, why does it look so much better on the camera? So there's got to be a better way of showing this. So like the coloring itself, it's not like a shiny silver. It's like a grayish color. Man, the lighting is doing it way more justice than it should get. But like if you look at the holographic cards, for example, see how it's like an actual silvering to it? Like the silver ones are nice. Like you have an actual silver glimmer, but with the regular ones, it's not really a silver. It's more of like just kind of a blandish gray. That's the best way to explain it. I want to see if I can find some Japanese older ones, because Japanese Scarlet and Violet ones actually also look pretty bad from what I remember. But maybe I don't know, man. But does the silver ones look like the old World Championship decks? I would say that's honestly a pretty good comparison. But it doesn't glimmer though. That's the thing. That's the annoying thing. Oh, check the tweet. Okay, cool. I got a DM. All right, here's a perfect example from English to Japanese. So as you can see with the Japanese, that's so much more vibrant in color, so much more sparkly, versus when it comes to the English, it's just bland. Like, it's just like a bland silver type color for the EXs, which is extremely disappointing because the like coloring is so much worse. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just kind of a bummer. Does it have a matte finish? Well, hold on. I feel it. It doesn't have really anything for the regular. Like the silvering one feels slick, if that means something. But like the hollow texture, there's not really anything unique about the hollow, right? Like I look at the Japanese card and I see, wow, look at all this like really cool texture. There's like a swirl concept going on there. But like the English, it's just like, I mean, don't look at the borders, just look at the main card. Like it's holographic, but there's not any sort of like pattern going on, which is really disappointing, honestly. Not a great example since it's a full art. Well, obviously I want to show the difference between the silver borders from older cards versus newer, because the Japanese newer cards actually also look pretty crappy from Scarlet and Violet. I was trying to find some older Japanese cards because I remember the older ones having a better silver look, but it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to find some because I don't really ever have Japanese non-holo cards. Pokey Rev was saying the same thing about the Mimikyu EX being washed out. Is US cutting costs again? No, man. It's just, once again, Japanese, or specifically in my personal opinion, the Japanese culture, they tend to take a lot of pride in high quality. And I just think that you're not seeing that exact same thing happen with the English variations. Yeah, no, it's not a good look. It's not a good look at all. They're like, yeah, let's Japanese quality cards, let's make them the best we can make them with really cool textures. English versions, yeah, let's just send them off to a Chinese factory and have them just print it out super cheap. Like that's kind of the difference. Honestly, it's kind of bad. Lorcana tweeted today, they increase products so everyone should get what they want. Whoa, Lorcana tweeted today. See, as someone who officially is never on Twitter, because Twitter is just a cesspool of depression, I don't follow these things. So, where did they say that? Where did they say that, Jim? Because I'm on Disney Lorcana's page, and I'm not seeing anything about that. What's up, Trainer Mason? Good to see you as always, brother. But yeah, it's definitely a pretty bad look. It was a reply, Jim says. Well, we'll see. It's probably the most recent one. Where can you tell me what the exact thing is? Timo's crapping on the US. Says that we don't take pride in anything. That's so not true. I mean, the biggest thing you can say, one thing I will say is innovation is a huge thing. I mean, that's what the US is known for. When you look at other countries, there obviously has like a different thing that each person is known for. I would say US is innovation and China is replication. And then I would say Japanese is preservation. That's how I look at it when I look at the three. There's a reply tab on to quickly skim. I don't know Twitter, I'm sorry. But replies. We have increased production and will continue to do our best. We're also appreciative of the enthusiasm. Interesting. I don't know how I don't know how to say that though, man. I don't know how to respond to that. Cause I don't want to make a general assumption off of a reply that says we have increased production. Like, sure, I would like to believe that, but I don't know. I know the meme when I see talk about allocations for Larcana. I know we don't even know what the numbers are, but the expectation is that, oh my goodness gracious, it's bad, bro. I'll say it, there literally cannot print enough to meet demand. I mean, that's the thing, man. That is the thing. Is the demand is absolutely insane here. Timo says, take a tip from my homeland, Spain. Quality over quantity. I don't think you, but the problem is with that statement, Timo, is that's 100% unrealistic, right? Because when you look at Spain, Spain is a tiny country compared to the US. Spain is like a population of, I think, like 48 million, if I'm correct. And the population of the United States, what's the population? It's like somewhere in the 300 millions. US population. 331.9 million. Yeah, so if you want to do the math, we'll just say 332 rounded up, divided by 48. The US population is almost 7 times that of Spain. I mean, heck, man, the population of California is, I mean, California population is probably in the 40s at this point. It's 39.24. So, I mean, literally California plus another state like New York alone has more population. So when you make the argument quality over quantity, although I 100% agree with a general statement about that, like perfect example is the Marvel movies. But in this situation, when you're talking about Disney being one of the biggest IPs in the world, not just within the United States and our country, we have such a cultural reach that we're now having to say to ourselves that we're going to have to print this product in such a demand that we're going to have to fulfill a population that is much more widespread, much more widespread, and that is going to be extremely high demand, like extremely high demand. So that's kind of the general thing. Obviously, if we're not talking Pokemon cards, then I would say 100% I agree with you. But there's a reason why, generally speaking, you know, card quality when it comes to English, in my opinion, usually feels a little bit rushed. Now, do I think there's also, like I mentioned earlier, a cultural difference with that? Well, yeah, of course, because, you know, I do believe that Japanese has, you know, a little bit of a cultural difference in preservation of quality, and the United States typically tends to outsource a lot of their production and manufacturing. But does that necessarily mean that there aren't other implications at play when it comes to why things feel, you know, a little rushed? Well, yeah, because the demand for English as a whole is much greater, because when you think of Japanese, right, there's not really, other than Japan, I mean, maybe I'm ignorant, but there's not really another, like a large country that really speaks that, versus when you think of English, right, you've got the US, you've got Canada, you've got a large part of Europe, and so English is not like, oh, English is just the US. It's like it's a language that is in a lot higher of demand, and like I said before, Lorcana being a part of an IP that is extremely widespread, the demand for an item like this, specifically if we're talking Lorcana, like I mean, it's they're gonna have to pump things out, kind of like what Pokemon's been doing. It's not as simple as I feel like people kind of put it out to be. They make it seem like it's more black and white. Another perfect example is like Spanish cards, right? And I don't know how popular Spanish cards are in your home country of Spain, but if you look at the card valuations for Spanish cards, they tend to be drastically lower compared to other languages. Well, that typically is because there's such a lack of demand there. And so there isn't that, you know, demand in supply for that specific product. And so you're not going to have to see a quote unquote rush when it comes to quality production, which is interesting to see, because Raheem will back me up on this. There is actually some Spanish cards in particular. I don't know if there's Portuguese. I think it's Spanish, but you could correct me on this, Raheem, of some of my favorite Diamond and Pearl cards. And they actually have holo versions of the cards that I really like, and it's Spanish exclusive, and the cards look gorgeous, right? I'm like, wow, that's super cool. Why didn't English ever do that, right? But it's like kind of small minor things like that you never really think of. So it's really hard. There's just so many factors at play, you know? It's never just one specific thing. You rascal, you're not wrong. Could be PR talk. That's exactly why I'm not taking it. That's exactly why I don't want to just look at this and just, you know. Oh my gosh. But God, for those of you, seriously though, quantity over quality, for those of you that are Marvel fans, holy crap, I am depressed. The most recent Marvel stuff has been so bad. It's been so bad. I think the only thing I've liked in the most recent phase, if I'm being completely honest, it has to be No Way Home and Moon Knight, and I think that's about it, man. Everything else has been kind of garbage, if I'm being honest. I don't think Shang-Chi is part of the newest phase. If it is, then I like that as well. Lorcana is going to be known as Lorcana Unlimited. Disney is about to profit. Well, let's say, if there's one thing we do know about the mouse has definitely started to get rid of the magic for money. So there's... Yeah, so they're going to do that. But to be fair, once again, the demand for Disney, there's a reason why Disney IP is so big. The demand is insane. Spain is 47 million. Okay, so hey, I was pretty close. I said 48. I was only off by 1 million. Eli, spill the beans on which one has all the art hits. I don't know what you're talking about, brother. You're crazy. Do you think the presence of grading culture in America plays into Pokemon thinking they don't need to increase the quality? That's a great question, honestly. I would like to think no. I think it doesn't have any sort of correlation, if I'm being honest. I think that going back to it, I think you have two factors at play. I think one of those factors in particular is Japan has a different standard when it comes to not only the quality that they have, but the print runs they have. And it's something that could never work in English. It couldn't. It just couldn't, because you have, like, how many people in the world speak Japanese? Like, let me look this up. How many people in the world speak Japanese, right? About 125 million people, right? And now, does that mean that there aren't people like in English that collect Japanese cards or other languages? Of course, no question about it. But for the sake of this argument, we're just looking at general Japanese speakers versus English. 125 million, right? Now let's talk about English. How many English speakers are there in the world? 1.5 billion. That means there is a 11 times greater amount of people in English. So even if you say that 50% of the English speakers also collect Japanese product, it doesn't matter. You're still going to have a greater yield of English speakers. So the demand for English product is so much higher. So with Japan, they are able to focus more on the quality because there's not as big of a general pool of individuals that are wanting Japanese over English. But with that, you also have a different implementation system that they have for when it comes to supply. Japan, typically speaking, they're not like the US, right? Typically Japan, unless it's like a EV Heroes type set, they're very much strict on their reprints. They're very much, hey, this is it. This is the supply we have. You want it? Cool. Here you go. That's it. English, it's, oh, we've seen prices have gone up for a certain item and people want more of it. Yeah, we're going to print it into the ground. And that's usually how English goes. And the thing is, if you were to do it the other way around with Japan or just Japanese cards, in theory, you could implement it, but it would go poorly because the product of English product would absolutely get skyrocketed up and get eaten up because the demand for English product is extremely high. And now, to be fair, we don't know what the ratio of printers are from Japanese product to English product, but you would have to assume that based off the general demand, as we've seen, just historically speaking, between the two, I mean, English cards have always been much higher up until recently with Japanese because of that general transition of individuals looking at English products saying English products so expensive, and then unintelligent individuals who look at Japanese and say, wow, these are so much cheaper than English, but in reality, they are willing to pay much more. They're driving up the market. It's kind of like with real estate properties, right? You look at a general market, let's say in Oregon, and you say the houses are worth $400,000 in that area, and you have someone that's coming from San Francisco and they want to leave San Francisco because it's San Francisco. Sorry, Jermaine. And they come to a little town called Bend, Oregon, and they look and they're like, oh my gosh, I was paying $1 million for a box in San Francisco, and I can come to Oregon and I can pay $500,000 for a bigger box. Like, it's like you see this market transition where prices are getting run up because there's such a different, I don't know if you want to call it cultural or what you want to call it, but there's a different economic, pricing when moving to a different area, and it drives up the prices, right? I look at that in the same exact way when it comes to English seekers going to Japan, right? English booster boxes. Typically, the wholesale value is around $86. In Japan, the typical wholesale value is usually around the $45-ish price range, give or take, for standard booster boxes in Japan. Why are they so much cheaper? It's because typically there's way less commons, uncommons, and they're more focused on the main hits, so it's less cards that they truly have to print, and there's other factors as well that go into that. So when people see that, oh my goodness gracious, Japanese, they're so much cheaper, well, I'm used to paying more in English than Japan, they're okay with driving the price up in Japan, because in their mind it's still a better value than English because they're paying less. But the problem is all you're doing is driving up the price for a product that you're just valuing much greater because you're trying to compare it to an other market that's entirely different. Hopefully that comparison makes sense, but that's kind of how I look at it, because the amount of people I've seen transition most recently during COVID from the Japanese market to the English market and just run up the price, it's insane, dude. Like, it's insane. And I've had to explain to people why it's completely different, but it's just a completely different thing. I still know nothing about Lorcana other than it's Disney. Apparently they're trying to replicate Magic and they want to make an actual competitive game. That's what we know for sure. If they numbered parallels, they can just print more though. What do you mean by that, Pokemon Fun? My tournament Lugia Archeops I bought for, okay. Spanish Stormfront and Platinum base have regular holos. Thank you. There it is. So it is Stormfront and Platinum base have regular holos for the subset. Gorgeous cards. Look them up. She-Hulk ahead of her time. Get out of here. Mickey Mouse hold. I'm ready for the next amazing Marvel show after the amazing She-Hulk. I know, we need the Did you guys hear She-Hulk 2 got canceled? Oh, disappointment. I missed the live notification. What the heck, John Doe? I'm not even lying, John. When we started the stream, the first thing I thought in my head was, John Doe didn't say anything? I'm like, is he here? What the heck is going on? So glad you're here, brother. When do we know when a set goes out of print? Technically speaking, with Japan, it's hard to say because once again, Japan does things drastically different. But for English, typically speaking, in theory, it's usually like 99% of cases. It usually is when a set goes out of rotation, but every so often, a set like Evolutions will come along where the demand is so high, and the Pokemon Company will decide to reprint it into the ground. I want Chinese cards. I know nothing about Chinese cards. The CCP, the CC Pokemon. That's so funny. The CCP. I get that. I was ready to buy Toy She-Hulk Fist to Target. Shake my head. Hello, Agent Crypto says, any deals? I don't know, man. I don't know if there's any deals. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough, dude, to say what the deals are. But yeah, hopefully my rant made sense when I was giving that kind of comparison. Because Japanese products, like specifically if you went and you looked at like the main Japanese cards, I mean, you'll see this in older cards too. What's a perfect example? Let's do some level X's. I think we can give this example too. Eli, your investment picks were wrong. You lured me to your stream and forced me into Steam Siege Volcanion on me, and it didn't work out. What the hell? I know. See, people didn't realize this, but low-key, I've been picking up a ton of Steam Siege out here, and I think that long-term, it's gonna be... Where's Tyrone? Where is he? We need to talk about this right now with him around. I'm just kidding. What's up, Nostalgia? Good to see you, brother. Have you seen such a long dry period from distros since you've been back in the hobby? Well, so here's the thing, John. Obviously, everyone needs to understand this. I've been in the hobby forever, like since I was a little kid. However, I've only been in the hobby with distributors and distributor information for the past 3 years, right? So those are completely different things. Me as a player, me as a collector versus me as a business owner and me as someone who has access to distributors. Totally different things. I can talk about things that happened historically with Pokemon, but not in the same insight as I now have. Obviously, you can go on YouTube and you can find people that have older videos with that insight, and you can always just go off of that. But I digress. To answer your question, this is the longest we've seen so far, because here's the deal. The other longest time I can think of was Battle Styles came out, and then Chilling Reign came out shortly after. Battle Styles prices on pre-order were for $150. Then what ended up happening was Chilling Reign came out. Prices were also around $140, $150 on pre-order. Then it dipped a little bit down to like $120, $130. And then we had our second wave for Battle Styles, which dropped the price from like $150 to $110 or something like that. Chilling Reign was supposed to have another wave. It got delayed, and it got delayed, and it got delayed, and it got delayed, and it got delayed. And what happened? You basically had a period from, we'll say, Battle Styles. Actually, we'll say Shining Fates, honestly. From Shining Fates all the way until the end of 2021. So there was about a full year period of no product up until realistically November. You had like a random like Champions Path reprint kind of happen, but other than that, there wasn't really anything. Kind of like how we had a random Brilliant Star or Evolving Skies or Shining Fates. I mean, to be fair, obviously you have to look at it in the context. Are we talking booster boxes or elite trainer boxes? Because we've had quite a bit of ETB reprints in the past year. It's just not booster boxes, right? So if we're going to make that comparison, we'll say booster boxes. 2021, how many booster boxes did we get reprint? We got 0 reprints until the end of the year, right? And even prior to that, there was still a low amount of product. So let's look at time frame, right? We had end of 2020, we had a reprint for Unbroken Bonds, Unified Minds, and then Cosmic Eclipse packs, but that got delayed. And then start of the year, we had obviously elite trainer boxes for Hidden Fates. But if we're talking booster boxes, more or less start of the year to the end of the year. So we'll say about 11 months, making conservative, right? When was the last time, if we take out the Evolving Skies reprint out of the mix, when was the last time that we got a real decent size reprint? That was about the 11th month period of 2021, aka November-ish, right? And maybe if you want to throw December into that, you can. That was about 11 to 12 month period. We are currently in about a 14 to 15 month period. So it's roughly been about another 3 to 4 months longer than we anticipated. And that's where I have my concerns, because last time felt like a very long time, and this feels like an extra long time. Hopefully you're doing well though, Nostalgia. Good to see you, brother. It's rough out here indeed. I'm about ready to take on some more clients. Apartment store out here chilling. At this point, should we wait for Black Friday deals? At this point, you should just be patient and just wait until there's an opportunity. But I get the joke of it being Black Friday. So Eli, I see booster boxes are sold out on the Pokemon Center website. So why would they print Sword and Shield sets then, when they can print more Scarlet and Violet and sell out more for the price? And that's the argument, Matthew, a lot of people are making, is because they more or less said that if they do print Sword and Shield product, they're going to do it at the older wholesale and MSRP price. So there's an argument as to why they would do that. I think for me personally, it has to do less with, money and more to do with the outcries within the community. Do I think it would be silly for them to make that statement, though, that they're going to charge old prices? Yeah, I think they should just charge new prices and people are going to eat it up. I think that's kind of silly. But the reason why they probably did that is there probably has something to do with contracts. It would not surprise me if there are contracts with distributors that, hey, we're going to charge you for the Sword and Shield block X amount in product up until the end of the block. And then once those contracts end, then there is a new contract that is formed for newer, like Scarlet and Violet era product, in which they're going to charge higher. So if they were to go back and reprint it, they're basically doing that based off of what the old contract negotiated prices were. That's generally what I'm kind of assuming as to why they made that statement, because otherwise it wouldn't make any logical sense. So I feel like they're probably bound by some contract to print it for cheaper prices. Now, is the Pokemon company going to say, oh my goodness gracious, we want to make $10 more per booster box and be extremely greedy. We're never going to print anything in the past. No, I don't think so. Obviously, the Pokemon company is about money and they're about making money. But at the exact same time, I would like to believe that they still have some consideration for the market because they've usually been pretty good about that when it comes to the player base and the outcries. But I could be wrong, right? I could be 100% wrong because we're watching Evolving Skies go up to $400 a booster box. It's interesting to see. If you say Steam Siege 3 times starting at Mirror, Tyrone will appear in the wild, right? Where's Tyrone? I knew what you meant, Matthew. I'm working on my PSA submission right now. What? Nice, Addy. Mikhail says, which binder to complete first? LC reverse hollows or FA trainers in English? LC? What's LC? Sup, bro? Do you think it's a good pickup to grab the Pokemon Center ETBs while they're still available, like Brilliant Stars currently is? See, and it's funny you say that, because that's going to be a discussion for Monday's video. I mean, let's just look and see what's available right now for Elite Trainer boxes, right? So for Elite Trainer boxes, the oldest set that currently has the Pokemon Center exclusive up right now is Brilliant Star. It is honestly mind-boggling to me as to why this is still in stock. It honestly is. And why I think it's still not a bad pickup. Obviously, it hasn't performed nearly as well as everything else. But the reason why I think it's not a bad pickup is for this one simple reason. There's two reasons actually. One, because we know that's the low price that you're going to be able to get. And then two, hey guys, people that are here in the chat, are we still finding the accounts that were on eBay that were reselling the product for at way cheaper prices? So for a while there, you guys might actually not know this, but we found out that from a third-party DHL, returned Elite Trainer boxes were actually being sold by a third-party company, and they were making accounts on eBay, and you were able to get them for a extremely cheap price, for like $35. I don't know if they're still doing this. If someone wants to if someone wants to confirm if this is still going on. I remember for a while there, I heard some people saying that their account got banned if they purchased from some of those accounts on the Pokemon Center website. So that was interesting. Okay, but before we get into that entire thing, let's go take a look at the Pokemon Center ETBs. So right now, the Pokemon Center ETBs, the lowest price listed by an actual verified seller, is $74. And it was sold last 2 weeks ago for $74. So what do I mean by that? That is a $24 difference. So if you literally go to TCG Player right now and go pick it up, you can resell it for that amount. Do I recommend that? Probably not, because $74 times 0.85, which is your fee, minus, we'll say $10 to ship, you're making $3 per. But the point is, you're not losing money, right? You're not losing money. So the risk to reward ratio based off of what the market price currently is, it's just worth, right? And I mean, it's just a weird chart to look at over a 3 to 1 month period. This is represented quite interestingly enough, though. So yeah, I just find this generally fascinating. That this is still up there. I see this is still a good pickup because the risk reward is super low. I'm just saying they have some deals in Discord on the deals chat with PC ETBs for half off. Okay, Tori, how recent was that? Because that's exactly what I'm referencing. Because the deals, for the longest time in the deals channel, they had eBay accounts that you could go to and you could pick up Pokemon Center exclusive product for like dirt cheap. Which main set from Sword and Shield do you think will perform better in the best, excluding Evolving Skies and Brilliant Star? Well, I will answer that question with two. I'm going to give you one for Elite Trainer Boxes sets, or specialty sets, and non-specialty sets. Obviously, specialty sets, we know Crown Zenith is going to perform extremely well. We've already seen that. If we're talking non-specialty sets, and we're talking more or less booster box sets, for Sword and Shield, I personally believe that is going to be probably Silver Tempest. I know, once again, Lost Origin as it stands right now has performed better, but I think over the long term, it would surprise me if Silver Tempest didn't do better purely based off the Lugia. Lugia sets have historically done extremely well. And that's kind of where my stance is on that. If I'm correct, where are we with Lost Origin 2? Also, Lost Origin is a slightly older set, so you have to take that into consideration. That set came out in September. Silver Tempest came out in November, right? November. So, October, November. Yeah. So it was about all of September, all of October, then going into November. So it was about a 2-month gap. Is that right? That seems like a short gap. Silver Tempest came out November 11th, right? And the Lost Origin came out on September 9th. Wow, that's a really close gap between the two sets. 2 months? Wow, okay. Interesting. But anyway, still, 2 months it took. So there was time for it to accrue in value greater, obviously, than Silver Tempest, which is why I believe the price is slightly higher. I don't think it really has to do with there's a higher demand, but I could be wrong. Prices for this item right now, though, they are at around $148. So there is about $8 more expensive when it comes to Lost Origin. It's not a bad pickup. 2 or 4 of the Pokemon Center ETBs for each set. No, not a bad pickup at all. Bullish on Silver Tempest. I'd go Chilling Rain. Chilling Rain's a good pick too. Chilling Rain will do well as well. I would say Silver and Chilling are probably my 2 favorite. I still believe Silver will probably do better, although I like Chilling Rain as a set personally more. I'm just looking at history. Didn't Lost Origin get delayed? Everything gets delayed, dude. Everything gets delayed. I mean, I guess, technically speaking, that's why there was the gap. If that's what you're basically saying, why there's that 2-month spread, that does explain it. It is because of the delay. It's kind of like how with why there's such a gap. Why's my face frozen? All right, good. Why there was such a gap between the booster box set of Silver Tempest to our now end of March set for Scarlet and Violet. I mean, think about this, guys. November, December, January, February, March. It's a 5-month gap for a booster box set. Obviously, we had an ETB box set in between, but that's a big gap. And we were supposed to have the set for Crown Zenith come out a month earlier. So that also got delayed too. Yeah, it was just a string of delays, honestly, that kind of led up to that. You rather pick up a PC ETB for $50 or regular ETB for $33? Oh, I assume you mean for Brilliant Star. Oh, that's tough, man. I don't know. A part of me wants to say Pokemon Center exclusive, honestly. And here's why I feel like the answer is Pokemon Center exclusive. It's just purely based on the fact of, all right, let's say we're picking up a standard ETB for $33, right? What is the current resale value? It's $40. What is the current resale value from the $50 pickup? It's $74. So the value of what you're getting for the Pokemon Center exclusive one, you're already making more. If you were to go buy it at this price, you have a better floor. And I can't say that about the Brilliants, right? For the regular ones. But you know, do I think the regular one will do well long term? Yeah, of course. I think it'll do really well long term. But I just, I look at it in the short term, and I look at that short-term opportunity, and I'm like, God, that's so good. At $33, that just seems high. Now, if you said like $30, or if you said like high 20s, then I would go with the standard ETB. But $33 feels really high to me for paying for a Brilliant Star ETB. Think it's best to sell a PC CZ ETB now or hold? I don't know if reprints are coming soon or not. I mean, I don't either. As I've said this before, I'll say it again. I'm a huge fan of not leaving money on the table. If you do have quite a bit of them, I would at least sell some. What do you think of Celebrations UPC? Buy now or wait? Here's my thing, Raw. For this item, it's more than likely never going to get printed again, so you have to look at it. Is this an item you're wanting as an investment, or is this an item you just want to own? If it's an item you just want to own, then obviously probably now's the best time to buy. If it's an item you want to invest in, I would stay away because I think opportunity is just not there. Do I think CZ ETBs are coming back in stock? I would like to believe so, but I could be wrong. Are Lost Origin Pokemon Center ETBs a good investment? I like the Brilliant Stars better. What's up, Tom? Good to see you, brother. To my point earlier, Matthew says, with price increases, what about boxes with Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet product? Both, how so they MSRP for that? I don't know what you mean by that, Matthew. Sorry, that was a really confusing sentence to read. Let me read that one more time. To my point earlier, with price increases, what about boxes with Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet product both? How so they MSRP for that? Oh, I think I know what you're saying. I think you're saying with product boxes that are going to include Sword and Shield product as well as Scarlet and Violet. I feel like this is all hypothetical. There probably is a different situation for that. They're probably allowed to charge more if it is like one of those collection boxes, but I could be wrong. We technically haven't seen, I think, a collection box revealed that has both. How do I feel about Paldea Evolved? I don't know, man. How do I feel about Paldea Evolved? Whoa, trainer toolkits. The toolkit will release on June 9th for $35? That's insanely expensive. Oh, that's tough, dude. That is so tough. But outside of that, Paldea Evolved. Here's the logo merchandise. I do like the Elite Trainer box look for this. I think that looks really cool. I mean, it looks cool, but to be fair, I don't know how I feel this set is going to perform. Honestly, I have absolutely no idea. If things keep going the way they're going with supply, it's probably going to perform extremely well. But outside of that, Paldea Evolved obviously being our second set. What were the Japanese cards that were released that we know of so far? For Triple B, right? We've got some pretty cool cards for the originals. And we've got the art designs and the character rares. Do I think it'll be a good set? I don't know what the second half of the set looks like. I would assume it's not going to be a bad set. But do I know it's going to blow it out of the water in terms of everything? Well, when we have, 151 around the corner, at some point we're going to be getting it. And then we also have Ruler of the Black Flames as well. Those two sets are probably going to overshadow it, but also we don't know what the time frame is on that. It's really hard to say. Here's what the statement I will make is right now, though. I think the set, we don't know what the second half is. So the statement I'll make is, from what it looks like now, it looks like it's going to be at least a decent set. How it will perform will be based on the supply of other product readily available. If there is a scarce supply of product like we're seeing right now, the set will probably perform extremely well. If the set itself, there is a ton of other product available, then it'll probably not perform extremely well. But that's also going to be said for the majority of other products. So it's not like it'll be unique in this way, right? It just might be hurt more just based on the fact of the matter that there's just going to be so many other opportunities of product, depending upon what gets a reprint or not, that people are going to kind of, shoot for. And also it will more than likely be overshadowed by 151 and Ruler of the Black Flame. Off topic, what is your favorite board game? Monopoly, probably. Big fan of Monopoly. Yeah, that's a good. Let's look at that one too. How are the Fusion ones doing? Because Fusion, obviously, ETBs are sold out. So let's take a look and see how they're doing here. Fusion Strike ETBs. Wow, that's crazy to me. It's crazy to me that these are out of stock and they're selling for the same as Brilliant Stars, and the Brilliant Stars are in stock. That's crazy. Prices are definitely climbing for this though. Obviously, it's a 50% increase in price. What'd you have for breakfast? Nothing. I don't really eat breakfast. I'm terrible. I'm so bad at eating food. It's ridiculous. I have such a bad... just such a bad eating schedule. Pokemon, do you think MetaZoo and Flesh and Blood TCGs and Sorcery TCGs possibly become the next big TCG? I'm a big believer of Fab. I like Fab. I think Lorcana could be big. I mean, MetaZoo's in Walmart, so I feel like it's definitely here to stay, but I'm not super following it. The set will be very playable. That's typically how it is, Sirmanda. Usually it's the first couple of sets are usually centered around changing up the, shaking up the competitive landscape. Snow Lady will be in Paldea Evolved. They have a new Pikachu EX along with a Raichu AR. Really? AR is in Amazing Rare, or what do you mean by that? Alternate Rare? What do you mean by AR? Xander says he just subbed. What did I miss? Hey, appreciate it. Thank you, Xander. Just bought 10 Costco Fusion Strike / Evolving Skies tin boxes. Wow, shout out to you on that one. Remember when Fusion was overshadowed by Evolving? Could be the same. That's how I kind of look at it. I love Fusion ETBs. It is a cool ETB. I love the design. I like the off color. It's like a cotton candy feel, in my opinion. Have a case of OPOF of that. think you probably meant to say of that. Art rare. Art rare. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I still need to familiarize myself with the new rarities since we're transitioning. Do you think Pokemon is going back to the well too often Gen 1 having 151 in Classic set coming up? 100%. I mean, my, hypothesis is that 151 is really just going to be it's going to be a bunch of character rares of the original set, and then it's going to be a bunch of art rares or alternate arts or whatever you want to call them of the new set or of the original holographics. Holy buckets! Why does the fusion strike graph look like they're shooting to space? Because it is. Did you look at the Snow Hazard set? I have not. I've looked at it briefly, but it didn't really interest me, if I'm being honest. Where is Snow Hazard? That I think will be on the first page. Yeah, I saw this set and I was like, wow, this looks extremely underwhelming. A set that has a Fortress and Annihilate. I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about that. Just not really strong characters. No one really cares. Sorry. Pokemon USA, do you think Sorcery, TCG, and Flesh Blood can dethrone number 2 MTG? Dethrone is a strong word. I highly doubt that. I highly doubt that. It's possible in theory, but I highly doubt it. Hey Eli, will Sword and Shield cards be sold at newer price points once Scarlet and Violet comes out, or will they be old MSRP? According to what we've been told, if there is reprints for Sword and Shield product, they will be sold at the old MSRP price. This isn't the set. This isn't Snow Hazard and Clay Burst. Am I dumb? Oh, just go to Justin on. I mean, that's literally what it said, but I don't know. I've seen this card, obviously. Oh, there's the EX you're talking about. Yeah, but those are the cards. There is the Annihilate. Yeah, no, this is everything we were more or less looking at. What am I getting confused here? The fact that I wasn't showing this card, I do think this is pretty sick, and the Pikachu. Do you follow Dragon Ball Z? I do not. Pokemon's on the uptick while everything else are on the downtrend. I don't know. Magic has been putting out some really good sets recently. Though the Phyrexia has done well, and obviously we're gonna have the Lord of the Rings set. March of the Machines, I don't know how that's gonna do, but it might do well. Is there a worse hold than MSRP Darkness Ablaze ETBs? Oh, yikes. MSRP Darkness? Oh, a worse hold than that? Probably Pokemon Go. Probably Pokemon Go MSRP ETBs. Darkness's Blaze is actually doing very good. I don't honestly know why. Because it has nothing to do with whether this set is trash or not. It has to do with the supply and the demand for the set. And the supply is very thin, and the demand is there. It is there. But you want to talk about a crazy one? You guys want to talk about a crazy, crazy price that no one is probably talking about in terms of increases that blew my mind? Sword and Shield base set. The base set box is selling for $300. That's insane. $300, guys? If I were to tell you, if you were to say, all right, guys, what are the top 3 most expensive booster boxes in the Sword and Shield era? If I said 1 is Evolving Skies, you guys would be, of course. Evolving Skies makes sense, right? But if I told you 2 is Sword and Shield base and 3 is Rebel Clash, you think I'd be smoking weed. To be fair, though, those are the only 2 that never got official reprints, so it makes sense. Does make sense. March of the Machines is basically the Avenger 2 set, where the War of Sparks with the Avenger 1 set. Interesting. Pokémon, do you think Battle Spirits Saga TCG is a good investment? I know nothing about that set. I'm going to answer it. Any questions to anyone outside that's going to ask me a question unrelated to Pokemon, I cannot give you any sort of personal opinion really on anything other than Pokemon. I can tell you that I'm a fan of Fab, but that's about as far as it goes. I'm, One Piece, Dragon Ball, all that stuff. I just don't follow it. More like smoking crack, right? Why is Evolving Skies ungraded cards doing better than graded Evolving Skies cards? Because nothing makes sense. It really just comes down to demand. People have zero demand for 9s. People at this point look at 9s as stinky poopy, and they say, I only want 10s. And so the demand for 9s is extremely low, and so it just makes sense because people would much rather pay for a raw card than they would a 9. People collect the high tier sets and usually come back for the low tier. It's true. Gotta head to a PTC. Take care, everyone. Parent teacher conference. Oh, well, thanks for stopping by, Trainer Mason. Last time I checked, Sword and Shield base was 200, right? Surprise Brilliant Stars. Booster boxes are still available on Pokemon Center website. I feel like I've heard this so much. Crazier streams at 5 a.m. in Japan. Oh, Koga, are you in Japan right now? You're watching me at 5 a.m.? Well, shout out to being here, Koga. 5 a.m.? God, so you got to go forward. I mean, let's see. It's 2 p.m. right now. So if we go 5 a.m., that's a 15-hour difference. Dang, dude. Black Label's taking a dump on PSA 10s. Well, I mean, I told everyone this. I literally said this for Ultra Modern product. I said, I'm staying away from 10s and I'm going for Beckett's. The only time I would ever do it is if it's for like content. And if there's a real opportunity. You guys actually want to talk about something really cool though? Oh, you guys want to talk about something super duper sick that we're working on right now? So as you guys are aware, we have the Ultra Ball. Yeah. We have the Ultra Ball, which in order to access, you have to be part of the Discord and have at least level 5, and everything. One thing that's extremely cool that we recently added was we're still obviously in the beta process, but we're working out Silver Tempest. And we just recently did a compare all between 9s and 10s. But we're going to be adding 9s and raws and 10s and raws. And this will give you the entire spread percentage of what you kind of want in a set. So a perfect example is, what is my general rule that I give you guys, right? I say that I want something to be at least a 2.5 times return, or in other words, a 150% return when it comes to investing in that item. We created a compare all between the 9 and the 10, and we know that the value between the 9 for the Lugia V-Star and the value between the 10 is a 137% spread. Then if we take a look and compare it between the, here, let's actually go / PSA comparison. We're going to compare the 10 to the raw. For the, which one was it? It was the Lugia 202. And what are we getting? We're getting a 190% return. So we're going to be doing mass polls for this pretty soon, so I don't have to do individual polls. But more or less what we're doing, and this is so insane, guys. This is so insane, is that this is going to change the game for investing in Pokemon. This is going to change the game, because now what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to do a compare all spread, and you'll be able to pull up in order the best Pokemon cards by return to grade. And we can see right now that the percentage is the Lugia V-Star right now. And to go and confirm that, we can go take a look on Pokedata's website, and we can see, okay, from 9 to 10 value, what is the percentage return for the rainbow card? Gosh dang it, it always makes me log in every freaking time. It's always gonna make me log in every time. All right, there it is. So if we look at the value from the just standard raw, we can see that it's $40. And we can see that's 110. Obviously, this falls within our percentages. Now, for those of you guys that are looking at this right now, and you're probably wondering why does the percentages, like, because you can just do the math and you can look at this and be like, this looks a little bit off. It's because in our actual equation we have calculated into it within the Discord. In our formula, we have inputted the PSA grading cost. So that allows you to incorporate that when it comes to knowing the spread. So that's why percentages might be slightly off compared to if you're doing the math when going off of the charts. But this tells us that from a 10 to raw perspective, it's the best. Now, from a 10 to 9 perspective, is it the best? No, it's not. Obviously, it's kind of crap. So from there, obviously we haven't added it yet, but we're going to be adding it relatively soon. Is we're going to be doing the raw to 9, and like I said, the raw to 10 on the compare all. So that way we will be able to look at cards where it'll have the highest upside if you were to get a 9 instead of a 10 when sending in for grading. But more or less, I'm extremely excited about this, because this is going to literally allow us to just know exactly what cards to grade in mass and make a shit ton of money off of it. So so this is extremely exciting. So I just picked 25 cards, because with the command at first it allows us to only do 25 at a time. But we will be adding relatively soon here the remaining amount of cards for golds and rainbows and alternate or full arts. So, because how we're going to do it with the new command system is it allows us to only pull up a maximum of 25 cards. And so to spread that up on the commands, rather than it just pull up the 25 cards we have in the database, it's just going to do like / compare all gold, / compare all rainbow, / compare all full arts. So you'll be able to just pull it up by category. Pokemon USA, how can I find the print runs on vintage booster boxes? You can't. You just have to go off of just people that have been in the hobby and just taking their opinion on it or looking at the general prices. It's just, there's just no like, statistics to back anything. You're in Japan for about 3 weeks. Hey, where are you staying so far, Koga? I'm so glad I bought every Evolutions Premium Collection at Walmart every time in stock. Those babies are to the moon. Definitely could pick up. What's better, the pre or the post? Oh, you're talking to Digi. Is the Ultra Ball replacing the Poke Analysis? Yes, the Ultra Ball will be replacing the Poke Analysis. So what we're going to do with that is we're going to, I mean, you should already have access to it, but since we're technically still in the beta testing, we are giving people access via the Ultra Ball. For those people in the, if you're level 5 or higher, or you're part of the, if I'm correct, wholesale tier or the Poke Analysis tier, you will get access to it. In the future, though, once we're done with beta and we have multiple sets listed here, then it will be removed from the public and will only be available for the Poke Analysis tier and for the wholesale access tier. So I think OGs will actually have access to it, though, too. As like kind of a thank you for being an OG in the community. So, but that's kind of gonna be what the plan is. So we're basically letting people just kind of play test around with it as we're in the early stages, so that they can help us out if there are any like bugs or anything, or they can at least just try it out, see if they like it for themselves. But once we start to really add, value to this, that's when things are gonna change, obviously. And I'm gonna start making videos about that once I have real like empirical data that we're going to be able to back it up on, right? Because in the future, Friday videos, in theory, literally what my videos could transition into, it would be me picking a set and then just pulling up the values on Ultra Ball and then just doing a mass buy for that specific card and say, hey guys, in today's video, we're going to look at the top percentage returns spreads, because we're going to have a input command that we're going to pull up, which is going to, once we really have the database pooled, it's going to look at all of the best percentage returns through just all of the sets. And we're going to be able to pull this up in a way that allows us to know, hey, from the Sword and Shield era, here is the best cards right now from a percentage perspective that are worth picking up. Hey, from the Sun and Moon era, hey, from the XY era, and so on and so forth. And that'll become what the content more than likely is going to transition to on Fridays, is I'll bring back that third video, but it's going to be centered around singles investing. Because the thing is about singles is, I've talked about this before, right? I'm a big fan of sealed because it just has a good upside, but the risk reward ratio is incredible. And it's pretty easy for me to look at sealed product and know what's what. When it comes to singles, you have to really do a ton of research and a ton of time goes into it. And for me personally, although there is opportunities there, I don't really deep dive that much because I only have so much time to do so. So having a bot that's going to be able to do it, we're going to add that as a segment, and then it's going to give people an opportunity for me to expand upon more than just, my top single or my top sealed product to invest in. We're going to transition into singles. And that's what I'm the most excited for. When are the Charizard UPC? Where are they selling it for? iFOMO says. So last time I was informed, it was Zulu Games and it was Wholesale Hills, or a Hills Wholesale or whatever. How confident am I for a large Brilliant Star reprint coming? How confident am I in that? Oh, I hate that question because my confidence is going down. It used to be like 99%, but it's like, I gotta say at least 80 to 90% still. A part of me still thinks it's gonna happen. It just feels like it's crazy that it wouldn't. Well, I'm out of here now. Watching stream uses up a lot of data in my pocket Wi-Fi. I'll see you guys in a while. Thanks for stopping by, Koga. Have fun in Japan. Still thinking there won't be a reprint, but that's just me. I would like to believe there's going to be. It just doesn't make sense. There wouldn't be at least some sort of reprint. There's just so much to say. Ultra Ball / make me rich. I mean, it's literally going to pull up data for investing. It's literally, the value of this item is, the value of the Ultra Ball is going to change the game. I'm not even trying to be hyperbolic with that. It is going to change the game for investing. It is going to make it to where the capability of sending in cards for grading is going to be insane. Like, it is going to be crazy. And honestly, if I'm being completely honest, I think what I might do in the future, because obviously people have been asking me questions about, will I do grading for everyone? I wouldn't mind if I were to add that as a part of a second tier that I could create for the Patreon for specifically sending in cards for grading. So what I mean basically like that is, like, if it tied into a grading service where you paid like an additional $5 a month, and then I just use my or however much more a month, and I basically sending cards for grading for you on top of you having access to the program for the Ultra Ball. And I will do videos where I go in, I buy a bunch of cards that I'm gonna send in for grading, and then you can purchase those cards for me, where you'll be able to have access to then have me just make that submission for you on your behalf, if that makes sense. Just, kind of an idea. Are old Delta species hulls worth grading? If you have them in good condition, 100%. I feel like there's an opportunity to create a website like MTG Goldfish for Pokemon, but nobody's done it yet. I don't know what MTG Goldfish is, did you? What is it? Hold on one quick second, guys. Which side of the trade would you rather be on? One Evolving Skies First Wave booster box, or wait, hold on. One Evolving Skies First Wave booster box case versus 3 Lost Origin booster box cases. Tim, I think you already asked me this question not too long ago. And I think my answer was Lost Origin, because we did the math and it was 400 times 6 is 2400 versus 150 times 18, and it's 2700. You're getting more value from the LO. Me and my friends are trying to make an app that's going to be super helpful if we can flesh it out correctly. That's cool. No clue what it's about, but that's cool. Would you say Brilliant Zard alt art is currently undervalued? I would. How much is it worth right now? Isn't it like 192 last time we checked? Here, I'm gonna move this over. It's 171. Is that right? Let's go and just see TCG player. 171. Dang. That's crazy. Look at it compared to the 9. Oh, that's hilarious. 171. That's so cheap for a Charizard. Dang, dude. I would say, yeah, it's a pretty good price. I mean, isn't the rainbow like sub 100? Yeah, the rainbow's 72. God, some of the cards in Brilliant Star are just wildly priced. I mean, especially too when you consider the 10 value. Like, look at the 10 difference. The 10 is 760. Like, listen, I might hate the 9 return on this. Like, the 9 from 161 to like 161 to, but that's CGC though. That's not English that's not PSA. Oh my god, look at PSA. PSA's 383. Oh, that's kind of stinky. CGC is so much higher value. Oh my gosh, is that accurate though? There's been 2 sales. Interesting. I don't know, man. I'd like to say it's undervalued. The population report is obviously climbing for this. What are your thoughts on several celebration items showing up on Pokemon Center website, mini tins and Charizard boxes? I think it's just old stock that they probably found and they just threw on the website to sell. It's MTG's best pricing website. Dude, don't give out the value of the unders, right? Cosmic Eclipse BB is skyrocketing. Oh, it's been for a while. Do you give premium to first wave at all? Not really. It depends on items. If there's certain prints that have better pull rates, then yeah, but typically for booster boxes, not really. You give a premium whatsoever. No one really cares. 1 out of 10. How would you rate the Bizarre alt artwork compared to the Moonbryon? Are you talking about this one? I mean, it's cool, but it's not like, I don't know. I look at this, I'm like, wow, there's a Venusaur in the background. That's cool. I mean, Moonbryon's a 10. I think Moonbryon's by far the best artwork we have in the Sword and Shield era. As for this one, I don't know. Give it like a 6 or a 7, honestly. I'm not the biggest fan of the art design. FOMO to come on the Dark Terrazard. Oh, that's going to be insane. Oh my gosh, that's going to go crazy, guys. Yeah, when we did the Dark Terra type Charizard set, yeah, it's going to be insane. Charizard is Charizard, man. I mean, just think about this, guys. Like, I know people say they're sick and tired of it in the Sword Shield era because there's been so many Charizards. But, like, let's just go back and look at the Sun and Moon era. How many sets have Charizards in it? Cosmic Eclipse has a Charizard. Hidden Fates has a Charizard in it. Unbroken Bonds has a Charizard in it. The back end of the Sun and Moon era, 3 out of 4 of the last sets had Charizards in them. Right? Then you had Burning Shadows, which had a Charizard in it. I don't think Sun and Moon base didn't, obviously. So let's see, that's 4 sets in total that had Charizards, that were Charizards in them. So let's think Champion's Path, Darkness Ablaze, Shining Fates, technically Celebrations, and then Brilliant Stars. I guess Pokemon Go, because the Radiant, so 6. But like, if we're talking main slot, I don't know if I'd consider that. Even in Celebrations collection, I don't know if it's fair to consider that, right? But it's roughly around, you know, because we can say it's time to beat you, right? Charizard special. I mean, it's not like it's not always been just a ton of Charizards, right? Evolutions, Generations, Flash Fire. I don't know. A 6? LOL. I don't know. What's your opinion? What would you give it? Most alt arts have been skyrocketing recently. I don't think Moonbryon artwork is even all that. It's the rarity that drives the price of that card. But I'm not talking about the price. I'm talking about my personal opinion on the art design. I love the art design. It's my favorite one by far. I would say the only one that comes close to that is the Aerodactyl artwork. I love the Aerodactyl artwork. A lot of alt arts versus look better than the VMAXs. I don't know what you mean by that. I think Galarian Moltres V alt art, in my opinion, is the best alternate art. It's definitely a really good one. But as someone, here's my personal opinion on it, right? And you can maybe make this argument for me as well. I am an Eevee fan. Eevee is one of my favorite Pokemon. So Umbreon is one of my favorites of the evolutions. I wouldn't say so, My favorite are Leafeon and Glaceon, because that's what I grew up with, Diamond and Pearl. Do I like Umbreon? Do I like Espeon? Yeah, but is there like an inherent bias? No, I just like the cards, right? Aerodactyl. Am I a fan of Aerodactyl as a Pokemon? I could really care less. It was never one of my favorites that I cared about. Is it a cool Pokemon? Sure, but was it one of my favorites? Not really. If you can get me to have a card that I don't really care about and it has such an amazing art design that it makes me fall in love with the card, that's when I know it's a good art design. And that's where I feel like there's an argument to be made that almost the Aerodactyl artwork, in my personal opinion, is the best one of the two. Or just the best one of all of them. I just love the art design on it. It's so incredibly well done, and it gives such a good look, I feel like, to the storytelling within Pokemon. And that's what I enjoy about it. I look at this card, and I just see the prehistoric design that it has in the back. I just think it's such a cool art design. Who would have more followers? Obviously, classic Charizard. Ooh, actually, or modern Umbreon? Well, I don't know. I feel like Charizard's obviously more searched than Umbreon, probably. No less than a 9. I love the Pokemon in the battle stance as a cool battle scene. Dang. Espeon VMAX versus Altart. Espeon's cool, but yeah, it's just me, man. Jolteon here. Any electric type, Flareon, fire emoji, Machamp for me. Hit the thumbs up, Zard says. Hey, thanks for stopping by, Zard. Good to see you, brother. Imagine if they did a shiny Moonbreon image, because shiny Umbreon is my favorite evolution. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous shiny design. It is probably the best shiny design of the EVs, for sure. Yeah, Glaceon, Leafeon have terrible shiny designs. Celebi v Altart has fallen in price. Looks like an easy pickup. Let's take a look. Where is it performing? Thanks for stopping by as always, Tom. It's $30. Yeah, it's been going down. Where's the 10 at? 10's at 117. Let's confirm this on the actual TCG Player website. Also, let's go back to here. How accurate is the 114? Yeah, it's pretty accurate, I would say. Cheap, can you get it in your mint? 28.25. Whoa. All right, so let's just do the math here. Right? We do it would be 117 minus 28. And then it would be divided by if my math serves me correct, that should be around the percentage return, right? I can also just back reverse this. See, but that's not represented as a percentage. No, this is 100% accurate. This is represented as a percentage. This is represented as a times, like how much times bigger it is. Because that's the value in between the two. So it's about a 317% return if you were to get it as a 10. I mean, frick the 9 upside, bro. That's a good 10 upside. That's what you look at. Like, obviously, you like having a good 9 is always what you want, but having that 10 upside, you just gotta presume the ratio, hopefully, for a 10 is higher, right? Rapid Strike Urshifu. Someone's trolling now. Urshifu's underrated for sure. Maybe I'm the hater. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. We'll look at Rapid Strike Urshifu again. Nope. Oh. I mean, it's not a bad art design. I would definitely say it's better of the two. The single strike's terrible. Ooh, Empoleon's been dropping as well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're in the witching hour. We got about 5 more minutes. Kind of wrap up the questions, if you have any. But yeah, no, dude, guys, I'm excited for the bot. I think it's gonna just do really, really great things. I think it's gonna allow us to look at these opportunities on such a bigger scale that we'll be able to see raw to values to 10s on just. It's gonna be sick. It's gonna be sick. That's all I can say. I'm 100% have to make it. I'm gonna have to make a Friday series out of it. I love the Celebi art design. The Celebi art design is definitely one of my favorites. And it's so cheap. $28 for this alternate art with a 3x return. I'm not going to lie to you. I might just go buy this after stream. And send it in for grading. Because that's gorgeous, dude. That's gorgeous. I wonder how many it would take to get 10s. That's the question if you were to send them in. Who knows? All right, well, it looks like I don't think we have any questions. Let me double check the main stream just to see that everything should be caught up. Yeah, no, I'm not seeing any more questions. So I think we're just going to end it here, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you guys, as always, so much for watching. Please make sure to leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Post pre-recorded content for you to so each and every week. Lastly, if you aren't a part of the community already, I highly recommend check the links down in the description below, one of which is for our Discord, where we have a ton of like-minded individuals. But that is all for today's video. Thank you guys all so much for watching.